As a photographer, I was mainly shaped by cinema and almost a decade of traveling around the world. For me, it was always about breaking stereotypes and discovering things for myself. I was curious to see life from all kinds of different angles. My work usually speaks about the human condition, rebellion and pride, and aims to demystify the unknown. So when I was invited to Rome to work with Latitudo art projects on a photo series about the district of Corviale, it almost seemed like the project was designed specifically for myself, because it featured so many things that I loved about photography and storytelling. The location was fascinating, the people living there had a strong character, the whole place seemed surreal and haunting. It almost felt like it was not supposed to exist. On top of that, the theme was loosely based on Pasolini's book The Street Kids, from which we drew a lot of inspiration, and especially the dark black and white aesthetics. It was sort of an attempt to find the Pasolini's street kids in the present day.
Tra Beethoven e un tiro il senso di stanchezza, tipo in hangover dopo il lavoro vedo gente in giro. Without my mama il tempo non scorre, mi sembra infinito, un'ebbrezza che non vedo ma sento con l'udito, con le cuffie il tempo scorre come fosse tutto un istante costante ma di sfuggito. E sento la malinconia nel petto, come a non sentirmi protetto dal mondo in quel tempo non basta. Problema di completa felicità ed equilibrio fra il mio essere e apparire.
With my projects, I try to break the distance between art and public. I work with community through workshops and meetings. The Cake in the Sky by Gianni Rodari was written here in the Trullo. So I started from this point and chose to work around Rodari's The Grammar of Fantasy. I chose sentences to extrapolate from the text. The sentences were given to the group of women, and we chose to embroider them into fabric. The workshops took place from May to the end of September in the gym of the ex-Baccelli school, located near Montecucco. The hill was an essential presence. We then chose it as the location for the final video.
Abbiamo sempre la necessità di riconoscerci negli altri, di sentirci accettati, di ricevere conferme.
The video is called Moto Perpetuo Combinatorio because it combines several stories written by the workshop participants, personal stories of experiences, often from childhood, which were related to the sentences chosen to be embroidered onto the fabric. My project concluded with a performance involving a walk with two other women who had participated in the workshops. We went to hang up this piece of fabric in a selected location in the Trullo. At the end of our walk, there was a choir, the Brancoro, who concluded the performance with their protest songs, reconnecting with the embroidery sentences taken from Rodari's text. The songs refer to the popular tradition of working women, creating another link with the work carried out with the neighbourhoods female community.
My name is John Cascone. I'm a visual artist and I was invited by Latitudo Art Project to create a project in Trullo. Instead of a residence, we might describe it as an exploration of a neighborhood that until a few months ago was completely unknown to me. One of the first things I learned about this neighborhood was that both Rodari and Pasolini worked here in the 1960s. Another thing that I found very interesting in Rodari's work was his writing, which I immediately started to read, and my work actually initiated there.
Alfa lanciò immediatamente un grido d'aiuto attraverso I fili di collegamento al gigante Beta.
The project, which took on name Metamorphica, developed almost biologically. We then created a documentary by returning precisely to these places, almost with a desire to scientifically prove the veracity of the stories and their correspondence to the place we saw. I call this documentary La Fondazione Segreta del Trullo. The video features a scientific construction. I used science fiction audio tracks recalling The Cake in the Sky, which tells the story of a spaceship, thus integrating the Rodarian story into the documentary's creation.
Diventando il simbolo degli abitanti che continuarono in massa a vivere in quella zona che prese il nome della borgata Trullo.
The other element I based my project on originated in the grammar as well as some place in the Trullo. Each of the participants wrote a story and we ended up with 7 stories total.
Passavano per la scuola, frequentavano laboratori di scrittura e attività ricreative, ma nessuno si sedeva su quella sedia.
I asked a figure skater from the Trullo to personally reinterpret those stories, transforming the intuition and sensation she had when reading the individual experts into motion, into dance movements.